Now we're going to talk about how to transpose into all 12 keys. This is something that every musician across the board wants to learn how to do, and it really requires understanding the basics and fundamentals, really. And that's why you have a lot of musicians that are real good, but they're only good in certain keys because they don't have a more foundational approach. And I'm going to give you some secrets that I did when I was a kid coming up, learning how to play the piano, how I took chords and learned them in all 12 keys instantly. And that's really simple. You already have the formula, it's just that you have to apply it. What you can do, you can use the circle of fourths and circle of fifths. So whenever you learn one chord or a new chord, a good way to practice it and learn it in all 12 keys will be using the circle of fourths. For example, let's take a C major 7. This is a basic C major 7 chord. What I would do, I would start in the key of C and go to the key of F. Okay? And for you, it might not be that easy just to do it, you know. But what you can do is you can do it in a number of ways. You can count up how many keys are away. Okay, and it's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what you can do, you can start with the chord, and each note count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do it like that, or you can use the approach of the scale and how to actually build the chord. So once we started from C, and we're going to F. Now the fourth from F will be B flat. And if you look at the big clock, the big circle of fourths, you will see that all this is true. You can either do that or, you know, depend on your memory, but, you know, if you download that circle of fourths picture, you will see how it works, all right? So then we're going to go to the key of B flat, then we're going to go to the key of A flat, then we're going to go to the key of, E flat to A flat, then D flat, then G flat, and so on. And then you would just keep doing this. And I do this for every chord. You can even do that with different chords, any minor chords, sharp 5, sharp 9 chords. Let's look at some minor chords. Same thing. Let's go to this D minor 9. And you know what's funny? If you actually practice the circle of fourths, say for example, when you go from the C to F to B flat, everything, you're gonna automatically kind of know it in 2 different keys because your bass note, if you change your bass note to D, if you're playing an F major 7 and you change it to D, then you have a D minor 9. And guess what? If we're going from F to B flat, if we change our bass from D to G, it's still going to be the same chord, really, in your right hand. So if you get your right hand down, the next thing would be, you know, to learn the different bass notes. Say, for example, for C, the other bass note this same chord can be playing over is A. And now we have an A minor 9 chord. So really doing the circle of fourths and fifths is really going to be vital to your growth as a musician because it's going to help you to learn to play in all 12 keys. And eventually, you know, you're going to be able to do that really quick. And it actually sounds good when you're practicing too. It's a lot better than, okay, what's the next key? You know, it's going to actually sound like you're playing something, all right? Another thing to do, like even sharp 5, sharp 9 chords. You can do the same thing. Circle of fourths or fifths. Okay, and you can't get so deep sometimes, but it actually works, you know, when transposing. That's one way to do it, or you can actually do the counting thing. This is a technique that I did too as well. It really took a lot longer, and that's how I've developed shortcuts to figure out things through the school of Hard Knocks. Say, for example, if you wanted to learn how to play a song in a different key, you know, just count really how many steps away you are from that key. So say for example, you know a song in E flat and you want to learn it in G flat. How many steps away from G flat are you? 1, 2, 3. You're 3 steps away. So really all you have to do is take every chord. Say for example, you're going from the 1 to the 4. And you want to do these exact same chords in the key of G flat. Start with the first chord. How many steps away are we from G flat? 1, 2, 3. 3 steps away. So what you would do is take every note and move it up 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. Then we take this D and move that up. 1, 2, 3. That's kind of difficult. Then we got the B flat, take that up. 1, 2, 3. Then we have the G. 1, 2, 3. And then the F was left down there too as well. So we got 1, 2, 3. So that's the right hand. Now it's time for the left hand. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's how we find this chord. So when it comes to transposing, there are some things that you're going to have to do that's going to take a lot of studying, and it's going to take some time away from the piano. Maybe you can have a pen or a notepad and kind of document things, because that's really going to help you to remember things. I would say piano will be 50% physical and 50% mental. A lot of people argue about this all day, but as far as my experience, I put a lot of time away from the piano, you know, with a lot of studying as far as having chord books and, you know, just seeing how things really relate, because a lot of things are going to be the same, and you're going to notice that the more songs you play, the more you're in gospel music training center, you're going to see everything is really recycled and reused over a lot of these chords. So transposing and playing in all 12 keys, once you get so far, you're going to see things start to repeat again. So say, for example, you're playing in the key of C. When you get to the key of F, a lot of the same chords are going to be used too as well. You know, say, for example, going from the 1 to the 2, and the 2 is a minor chord. Okay? Well, this same 2 chord that you're using in the key of C is actually going to be the 6 in the key of F. So if you know this chord in the key of C, you actually know it in the key of F too as well. You also know it in the key of B flat because it's the 3rd of B flat too. 1, 2, 3. Because when you talk about minor chords, every key has a minor chord. The 2, the 3, and the 6 are, you know, the minor chords that you would play in most keys. So the 2 in the key of C is D. Okay? This same 2 in the key of C will be the 3 in the key of B flat. 1, 2, 3. This same 3 in the key of B flat will be the 6 in the key of F. Okay, so when you do different chord progression, you're going to see that, okay, this is the same chord that I played in F. This is the same chord that I played in B flat. You're going to see the connection on a lot of things, because really, once you get halfway around, you know, learning a chord, then you're going to start to see it recycled in a lot of different keys too. So that's what I wanted to share with you in transposing. It's the key to being the best musician out there, because you want to be successful in playing in all 12 keys. You don't want to be handicapped by the transpose button, and using these tips and using the circle of fourths, especially to learn any chord in every key, is the key. All right, we're going to close this section out. See you in the next section.